What's going on, people of the internet? It's your boy John here again, coming at you with another one of his finest. You know, there was a time when I wanted to get rid of anxiety and depression, okay? I used to see those two things as being a massive hindrance in my life. And the reason was, it wasn't a good reason, okay? When I look back now at those days when I'd wake up with that wave of anxiety. You remember those days when you'd wake up in the morning or whatever and you'd be instantly hit with anxiety? It'd just be sitting there. It was like it's ready to hit you when you wake up, and you wake up and it's just there. And what's the first thing you used to do back then when you were hit with that wave of anxiety? What's the first thing you did? I can already imagine what you did. You probably went on your favourite website, got your favourite model or girl or scene or video or whatever the fuck it is, and you probably immediately, without even a second thought, began to pleasure yourself. What a fantastic way to start the day. What a fantastic way. That's the story of me. That's the way I used to be. And I knew it was wrong. I knew it was absolutely pathetic, even when I used to do this. In fact, every time I did it, I felt disgusted with myself. I felt like the entire day had been ruined, because even before I discovered NoFap, I knew that if I was to jerk off in the morning, for some reason the rest of my day would just feel like shit. For some reason, it would just feel like I've just given myself an unrewarded pleasure. For no reason, I didn't need it. Well, I needed it just to get rid of the anxiety. But what I didn't realise was, in those days, was that the anxiety was there to serve a very metaphysical purpose. Alright? The anxiety was there because, quite simply put, I didn't have a plan for the day. I didn't know what I was going to do. I woke up in the morning and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no clue. It was like another day that I'm alive again. I had no gratefulness for that. I had no gratitude for being alive again. Because, you know, you go to sleep, who the fuck knows when you're going to wake up? Who knows? You could die in your sleep. Who the fuck knows? You don't know. You could have a stroke. Who the fuck knows what will happen? A heart failure, you don't know. So every time I wake up in the morning now, the first thing I do is I thank the Lord. I say, thank you, God, for giving me another breath today. Thank you for waking me up today. I'm grateful for the fact that you've given me another day to be alive. I'm very, extremely grateful for that. In those days, I didn't give a shit. I was like, oh, great, it's another day. Another day of feeling like shit. Fantastic. What shit's going to happen to me today? What bad shit's going to happen to me today? What am I going to fail at today? How am I going to prove to myself again that I'm pathetic? Yada, yada, yada. A lot of negative self-talk. The anxiety was there to tell me that, boy, you've got nothing planned today. Get the fuck off up your ass. Get the fuck up. Get out of your bed. Don't sit in your bed for an hour, scrolling away on your little social media and watching YouTube videos and being just a pathetic asshole. Get the fuck up. Get out of bed. Go do something. Go do something. I don't care what it is. You want to cook your breakfast? Cook your breakfast. Take a shower? Take a shower. Do 10 push-ups. Do 10 push-ups. Just do something. Just get out of the bed. The longer I sat and basically just rotted in the bed, the longer the anxiety would sift, and slowly, if this went on for more than a week, that anxiety would turn into depression. Because accumulated anxiety turns into depression, because the body just can't fucking handle it anymore. The body doesn't know what to do with this stress. What's anxiety? Anxiety is when your muscles all tighten up. Every muscle in your body is tight. You're all tense. You're on edge. Okay, because your body's telling you that you're in stress. You are in a stressful mode, and you need to do something to relieve the stress. Jerking off is literally the only thing that comes to mind when you're in that state. That's why a lot of us, back when we were fapping, we were anxious 100% of the time, without even knowing it. We become so used to being anxious that it was basically a state of being at that point. And of course, over time, the anxiety then molds into depression, and you do the same method of release. You wank, you jerk off, and that just makes the situation worse, because now you become dependent on the addiction to give you those 20 seconds of relief. Whereas now, when you get rid of that vice, you have to find other ways of taking up your time, and also giving you pleasure and that release. Okay, that release is key. The way you get that release is not by focusing on a short-term pleasure like jerking off or sex or eating or something like that, but it's actually long-term goals. That's the secret. Long-term goals is the secret to having low levels of anxiety and having high motivation, and motivation is directly linked to dopamine. So if you want high dopamine levels, you have to have long-term goals. You need to have delayed gratification, because every day that you work towards those goals, you are slowly increasing your dopamine levels inch by inch until eventually you hit that goal. And when you hit that goal, Lord, your brain's going to be flooded with dopamine. Alright? So what did I do to change this? Every day when I used to wake up with anxiety, I slowly began to eliminate the jerking off in the morning. Again, this was before I discovered NoFap. Before I discovered NoFap, I just got rid of the jerking in the morning. And I replaced that habit with 10 push-ups. Instantly. The moment I get out of bed, I just do 10 push-ups. I don't care what happens. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care how lazy I feel. I just do 10 push-ups. Then, as time went by, when I discovered the benefits of a cold shower, I began to take cold showers in the morning, instantly after I got out of bed. Okay, and then slowly, those two things coupled, I did that for a while, did that for a few weeks, did the push-ups and the cold shower for a few weeks. I discovered that I was entering a flow state, where I would do the push-ups, do the cold shower, and then I would just naturally come out of the shower, dry myself up, go put my clothes on, sort out my bed, clean up my room if it's dirty or whatever, then I'd go and make myself some breakfast. I'd make myself some breakfast and I'd be in another flow state, because that's another activity. I'd make myself breakfast, and then what would I do? Then I'd go for a walk. I'd just go for a walk. I just needed to get the fuck out of the house. And then as time went by, I realised that, okay, using the phone in the morning is not good for me. Using social media in the morning is not good. Going on YouTube is not good. Unless I'm using it for motivation, so I'm listening to some music or some speech or some compilation of motivational shit, doesn't really matter what, it's useless. I'm not going to use it because it's just a waste of time, and most likely I'm going to see something that's going to piss me off. And the worst thing you want is when you wake up in the morning to see something that's going to piss you off, because then that sets the tone for the rest of your day. The rest of your day is going to be shit now, because in that state, back in those days, you don't know how to deal with stress. You don't know how to deal with difficulties or calamities. So if you have one difficult thing that happens to you, your entire day is going to be ruined. Now it's a different story. Because my life is slowly coming together, because slowly I'm getting a hold of myself and I'm learning how to deal with difficulties. Now I can see a few difficult things in the morning, and it's okay because I know how to deal with it. I know that it's a difficult thing, or something that's pissed me off, or something that's upset me. Cool. It is what it is. It's happened now. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to say this is a bad thing that has happened. It's happened. Alright, move on. What's the next thing that I can do? Go for a walk. Go do some workout. Go take a cold shower. I don't care what. Just do something, right? But at the beginning, it was crucial that I stay away from negativity, because that negativity would set the tone for the entire day. What I've realised also is recently, when I do feel anxious or feel a bit of depression, most of the time it's usually linked to me not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm either not doing the workouts, I'm either not doing something to do with my overarching purpose, okay, in this world, which is to help people, okay, which is to benefit mankind, which is to help lead, guide people to a greater righteous path, because I'm walking the righteous path. Therefore, I feel that I should spread the message to as many people as I possibly can. Okay? Does that mean that I'm perfect? Does it mean that I'm not flawed at all, that I'm flawless? Absolutely not. I'm making these videos to tell you exactly why that is not the case. Because when you walk the righteous path, you've chosen to give up the path of vice, the path of evil, the path of ruin. Okay? Ruin, the lesser path, the subhuman path. You've chosen to rise to a different level. 90% of our fellow men don't do what we do, gentlemen. They don't do it. And they look at us and they first think that we're weird. Okay? People around you first are going to think that you're a fucking idiot. This guy wakes up at 6 AM and takes a cold shower. He's a loser. That's what they'll say. Well, they won't say you're a loser, but they'll just think you're weird. When you're grunting away doing your workouts, they're going to think you're weird. When you tell them that you're not going to focus on women, they think you're weird. They'll give you this look like, this guy, what the fuck? You don't want women? What the fuck's wrong with you? That's what they'll say. Because they don't get it. Because these people don't have a concept of honour, and they don't have a concept of self-mastery. Unfortunately, they don't. Okay? It's a very sad revelation, but it's the truth. They don't have a concept of honour, and they don't have a concept of self-mastery, self-discipline, and a higher purpose. Okay? Most people just don't have it. They don't have it either because they haven't been taught it, or because they just think it's silly. A lot of people, a lot of men, think that manliness, masculinity, is silly. They think that it's petty, it's stupid, it's a thing of the past, and it's not needed anymore. And then you look at these same people, and you look at them, and you see them, they're overweight, they're depressed, they're in toxic relationships, they're toxic themselves in some cases. They're always complaining about life, they're always complaining about their situation, they're always trying to bring other people down. It's like, not only are they making excuses for their own lack of success, but they don't want to see it in anyone else. They hate seeing other people successful because it's a reminder to their inner being that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Which is why it's absolutely necessary not to argue with them. And don't try and convince them to do what you're doing. It's a waste of time. Only convince those people who want to be led into that path. Okay? Why do you think I make these YouTube videos? Because previously I used to spend most of my time talking to my mates, talking to my friends or my co-workers or classmates about the stuff that we're talking about here. I used to talk to them about that. And sometimes I used to find, you know, I used to catch one who really was into what I was talking and really wanted to be led or wanted to be guided. But most of the time it was just, they didn't even notice what I was talking about. It was like, we're having a conversation, what I'm saying to this guy, he's thinking, oh, he's having a weird conversation about some weird stuff. Let me just nod away a few times, and then the moment he goes silent, I'm just going to change the subject to something else. They don't care. So don't try and convince them. It's a waste of time. I'm on YouTube because I know that when I make these titles and I'm making videos related to subjects that we're talking about, I know that the right people who are supposed to see these messages are going to come here and they're going to see what I'm talking about. And they're going to be guided. They want to be guided, okay, by a fellow man who's trying to improve himself, who's trying to achieve self-mastery, trying to achieve the highest possible potential that a man can. Okay? The Sonam Bodham. That's a word used by Immanuel Kant. The Sonam Bodham, the highest good. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Because us men, we have a great longing for those old values of masculinity, honour, virtue, courage, discipline, righteousness, truth. You know, we've got a longing for these things. We feel lost without these values and these virtues. When we don't have them in our society today, we feel lost. Other men can't understand that. Because other men want sex, cars, money, status. And don't get me wrong, it's in every man to want these things as well. Every man wants a woman, every man wants status, every man wants recognition, every man wants wealth. I'm not saying that these things are bad. These things are, I'm aspiring to eventually get all of these things. But these things only come when you make yourself into that kind of man who gets those things. Yeah, you don't just get these things because you're just a man and you've woken up today and you've decided to want to get them. No. You get these things because you're a diligent man who puts in the effort and the work. You will never get these things if you don't have that mindset. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you resonate with some of my messages. And let me know what you think. Let me know where did you resonate? Let me know how you came to the realization that you were actually on a higher path. Because you are on a higher path, man. You are on a higher path. You might not even know it. Because you know when you wake up on those days and you feel that self-doubt in your head, and you feel like, damn, like, why am I not where I'm supposed to be? Why haven't I achieved as much? Dude, the fact that you're thinking these things, the fact that that's your primary thought, is already a message from the Most High that you're walking a path that not many men are. Okay? Stay diligent, stay truthful, stay honourable, stay courageous, and watch the benefits come. Take it easy, I'll see you next time.